neglected to bring my charging cable. So if I get cut off, I'm going to be switching over to my phone. If you see me disappear for a second, that's why. I got my backup.
Somebody's talking in the background.
Yeah, it's the Zoom.
Oh, okay. I was going to say I can't hear it all.
It's the Zoom. It's the Zoom and the YouTube.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So hello, everyone, and welcome to the December 10th, 2024 regular council meeting for the Village of Lytton. I'd like to take a moment to remind everyone to please turn off your videos, mute your microphones, and allow council to begin the proceedings. Just to let you know, we're all being recorded and broadcasted on the Village of Lytton YouTube channel. If anyone is looking for a video recording of this meeting or a past meeting, you can go to the Village YouTube channel and watch it there. Thank you, Your Worship. You may call the meeting to order.
Thank you. I call this meeting to order at 7:02. I want to begin by acknowledging that we're holding this meeting in the territory of the Ntlaka'pamux people. And in accordance with our council procedure bylaw, Kathy Walter is joining us in the capacity of Deputy Corporate Officer this evening. All right, we need a motion to adopt tonight's agenda. That will come from, thank you, Councillor McCann. Seconder?
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor? That carried. Now, a motion, please, to adopt the minutes of the November 26th regular council meeting.
So moved, Lightfoot.
Thank you. Seconder? I'll second. Thank you. All those in favor? First of all, were there any errors or omissions? No, these aren't minutes. Yes, they are minutes. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. All right, let me get back on track here. We're moving right down to item number 6, public comment. I'm going to turn it back over to Corporate Officer Lisa Storchenko. You're muted. Lisa, you're muted.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Worship. So members of the public are now invited to comment on matters related to the agenda. If you would like to speak, please use the raise hand function on Zoom. You can find that by clicking on React at the bottom of your screen and then click Raise Hand. When it's your turn, I'll read your name and you'll be asked to unmute yourself. You'll get a pop-up on your screen asking you to unmute. You'll have 2 minutes to speak, and speakers are asked to please state and spell your name, say your address, and the agenda item that you're speaking to. So if anyone would like to speak, please use the raise hand function now. All right, I don't see anyone with a raised hand, so I'll call for a second time. If anyone would like to speak, please use the raise hand function now. And Your Worship, is there anyone at Parish Hall that wishes to speak?
No, there's nobody here this evening.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. That completes the public comment portion of the meeting. Back to you, Your Worship.
Okay, we're on to item number 7, staff reports. 7.1, CAO Member Cat.
Thank you very much, Mayor O'Connor. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to those who are joining us online. This first item on the agenda is the council strategic plan, and I'll ask CEO Storchenko to bring up a presentation. So the council met in October, I think it was the 21st and 22nd, to review the strategic plan. So the initial one was put together shortly after this council came in. I think it was around February of 2023. And the strategic priorities at that time reflected what was happening at that time. And now, sort of 2 years later, it was time to meet and to talk again about what those priorities might be for really the remainder of this council term, at least. And for the next 2-year period. I'd like to say a lot of the priorities haven't really changed. The specifics have, but many of the categories are the same. So I'm just going to run through the final product that we came up with, in that 2-day session, and then look for council's adoption of that. So next slide, please. And so the strategic priorities are really broken up into 6 categories. We have, of course, rebuilding, relationships, safety and sustainability, organizational excellence, economic growth, and advocacy. So I'll just go through each one and a little bit around what kinds of things fall under each of those categories. Next slide, please. So in the rebuilding category, the description of that is, we prioritize the rebuilding to support residents and businesses to return to their community. And so some of the areas of focus that are required in order to achieve that are to ensure that the critical water and sewer infrastructure is stable and sustainable, replace the key community facilities that enhance the safety, services, and the quality of life in the village, and continue to support businesses and homeowners as the village rebuilds. So under the category of organizational excellence, that can be described as we are focused on ensuring that the village of Lytton has the systems, policies, and resources to provide sustainable, cost-effective services. And so the key areas of focus under that are the governance. So council is focused on efficient, respectful, and inclusive decision-making. Internally, we ensure that we have personnel, policies, procedures, and systems to support a high-functioning organization. On the financial side, we will align our revenues to ensure that costs are equitably distributed and that we are planning for the long-term financial sustainability of the village. And on the communication side, to continue with proactive two-way communication with both internal and external stakeholders. Under relationships, we recognize that our future is inextricably linked with others. So, for the key areas of focus there, we will work closely with our surrounding First Nation communities to align our work and ensure sustainable services. We'll identify opportunities to work with the TNRD to enhance services to our residents in a cost-effective fashion. We'll continue to work with other orders of government to advance the village interests, and we'll build relationships with volunteers and not-for-profit organizations in the area. Under economic growth, we will focus on attracting businesses to the village of Lytton to support our residents. Under the areas of focus there, we will ensure that we are clear with businesses and residents on the vision for a new Lytton. Ensure that we have the infrastructure and systems to support our business community. Identify key strategies from the economic development plan and work towards implementing those. And work closely with the business community and the volunteer sector to support their business growth initiatives. Under safety and sustainability, we confront the challenges our amazing location provides and work collaboratively with local partners to find solutions. So this includes things such as climate change mitigation adaptations. We must make responsible decisions around the sustainability and the environmental impact that we have on our village. And with respect to emergency preparedness, we work closely with our regional partners to be prepared in a changing weather environment with unique natural risks. And on fire resiliency, we will lead by example by incorporating fire resiliency methods into our operations and into our new construction. And the final one is advocacy, and we will advocate strongly on behalf of the village of Lytton on issues outside our control that impact our village. So this includes ensuring that our rebuilding remains a priority for funding and legislative support. We will continue to work to remove barriers to rebuilding for our residents and businesses, and we will continue to advocate for appropriate health supports within the village. And this final slide is this is intended to sort of indicate how all of the pieces kind of fit together. And it's a kind of a bit of a continuum. So we had the strategic objectives from the last work that was done in February of 2023. That's sort of in the center. And out of that, there was long-term strategies and goals and targets and plans, if you kind of go around clockwise on the schedule. And then now we're back to evaluation and measurement and kind of relooking at those strategic objectives again, taking into consideration council's planning and priorities, some of the information that we've gathered and some of the things that have changed in our environment since the previous strategic plan was put together. And so that's it for my comments on the strategic plan, and happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Do we have any comments or questions for CAO member Cat regarding this strategic plan? I don't see anyone's hand up. Councillor McCann?
I just want to clarify, CO member Cat, that basically this process is that the strategic plan is endorsed, and then the staff then take that and work how to incorporate that into the work that gets done in the village. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct, Councillor McCann. From here, and the next item on the agenda is just the outline of the schedule that for which that will occur. But the staff will prepare their annual plans underneath each one of these 6 priorities. And so, you know, the activities that we will plan and budget to do in the next fiscal year will all link directly back to these priorities.
Yeah, thank you.
Great, perfect, thank you. Any other comments or questions regarding this? Can I have a motion, please, to adopt this strategic plan?
So moved.
Lightfoot. Councillor Lightfoot, seconder.
I'll second.
Thank you, Councillor Michelle. All those in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
Carried. Thank you. Now we'll move on to item number 7.2 and CFO member Cat.
Thank
Back
you.
to you.
This is an item really just for council's information so that they can understand the process that we're about to embark on again. And so this is our annual planning process that leads to basically the setting of tax rates is the end goal of this. But it does start quite a bit before the deadline to for council to adopt the tax rate bylaw is May the 15th. And there's a number of steps that need to happen before that. And so I've laid them out in a table here, and we're going to start with the department heads have already been working since the October meeting on their plans for 25. And they're due to me in draft form by January the 10th. So we can start to look at what's being planned across the organization, how it fits together, and how it supports the priorities of council from the strategic plan. We will then have a budget workshop with council where we will discuss the key priorities, and then, you know, sort of what the staff have come up with to support those. That then results in a budget direction report from council, which really sort of lays out to staff what they'd like to see in terms of a tax rate increase or other fees and charges increases or things like that. Staff will work on the final plan, and then we'll begin the online consultation process. So similar to what we did other years, we'll have an online consultation for a little over a week, and we will also do a budget input session online where the budget will be presented to the public, and we'll welcome their comments. And then we'll start through all the council meeting requirements of the first we'll just have a general tax rate discussion, then we'll have a draft 5-year plan, a final 5-year plan, and then the tax rates come out of that. So just to give everybody a heads up on kind of where we're headed over the next couple of months on this item.
Yeah, thank you. Are there any comments or questions? I would just like to say, having, you know, been through this last year, it makes so much more sense.
Glad to hear that.
Okay, so if there's no comments or questions, can we have a motion, please, to receive this report for information? Councillor Lightfoot, seconder.
I'll second that one.
Thank you, Councillor McCann. All those in favor?
Aye.
Carried. All right, we'll move on to reserve balances then, Diane.
Thank you. And this report is another one for council's information. This is this was a request back a couple of weeks ago where we were looking at adopting some new reserve bylaws and repealing some old ones and moving some funds around. And council had requested that we come back with a report of the balances once all those changes were made. So we've made the changes in our accounts. We have established the new reserves. And I've listed I'm not going to read all the balances out. They're in the report. But I think you can see where, you know, we did create some of the new reserves particularly under recovery reserves that we spoke about. The recovery operating reserve, that's our contribution from municipal affairs towards our operating budget. the donations reserve, the insurance reserve, and the ATCO land reserve. So the ATCO land reserve will very soon be zero because that's the funds that we're going to use to purchase the property from the TNRD for the village office on Main Street. So these balances, what I was trying to sort of explain in the report, there are a number of transactions that happen during the year that get recorded in the operating accounts. And at the end of the year, when the financial statements are done with the auditors, amounts get transferred in or out of the reserves. So the best time to look at the reserve balances is at the completion of the fiscal year, because that's kind of the most latest up to date. But these balances, so for example, this insurance, the reserve does not reflect a payment of $2.8 million that we've received for our buildings. So we received the cash value payment from the insurance company for our buildings. The way that the accounting works is it flows through the operating statement first, and then at the end of the year, it gets transferred into the reserve. So there's still a few more things to come, but but this is, this gives you an idea of how things are laid out and how we, where we stand right now. I would say that when we come to the financial statements this year and we're looking at the balances, we will be bringing forward I expect a resolution to council for council's consideration to transfer funds from the general reserve into that accumulated surplus sewer that is currently sitting with a deficit balance. So we will be looking to bring that reserve to zero, and then making a plan to keep it sustainable in the future.
Okay.
In addition to the reserves, I've included the deferred revenue in this report. The deferred revenue is just another type of savings account that the village has. And so depending on the specifics of a grant contribution agreement, it may have to be classified for accounting purposes as deferred revenue, but you can think about them in a similar way to reserves. It's money that we've received and it's for a specific purpose. So we have it designated, attached to that purpose in the deferred revenue. And those are all of my comments.
Okay, are there any questions? Councillor Lightfoot.
I saw the deficit in the sewer account and the surplus in the water, and I may not understand it correctly, but I thought water and sewer had to be self-sustaining. And so I'm curious why we would take it out of general revenue to balance out the sewer instead of maybe stealing it from water. But I'm sure this is a conversation we'll have when we get down to making that decision. Is there any comment you'd like to make tonight?
There's a short answer for that, actually. We are restricted from transferring out of water or sewer reserves. We can transfer money into them, but we can't transfer money out of them other than for the purpose of sewer or water. So we wouldn't be able to fund the sewer deficit with the water reserve. We need to take it from the general reserve.
There you go.
Okay. Okay. Do you have another question?
And just following that through, that's not an ideal situation. That would be an anomaly that, like a once in a hopefully lifetime way to balance something out. And then the rates, I guess, will have to reflect the true costs as we proceed forward, right?
That's correct, because the deficit that shows in the water in the sewer reserve in this instance is a result of us not collecting enough fees from sewer customers, but transferring it out of the general reserve means that all taxpayers are paying for it. So it is important to do an accurate financial projection and set rates that cover the costs that are of running those systems. And I don't think that's been done maybe for a few years. I think that's one of those things that's maybe fallen by the wayside in the last couple of years.
Thank you. Councillor McCann?
Okay, I'll just prove my ignorance here. So I heard you say that the money can only come from certain places. And I also heard you say under the deferred revenue, that money is also only used for certain things, correct? So
Correct.
that is why the sewer grant, which looks quite healthy, can't be used to pay the sewer deficit, for example.
Yeah, because the sewer grant was given to us for a specific sewer project. And so it's not just for a general use, which covering the deficit would be considered a general use.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That's what
Are there any other comments or questions? No? Councillor Lightfoot.
I guess my comment just is that it's great to have the specifics in front of us so we know what we're dealing with and how to address the issues. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, okay, so can we have a motion, please, to receive this report for information?
also move.
Thank you, Councillor McCann, seconder. Councillor Lightfoot, all those in favor? Carried. All right, we move on to monthly reporting. Item number 7.3, LBC contribution agreement, and I believe back to you, Diane.
Yes, this is my last report for tonight. This is our monthly grant report for our emergency management climate readiness grant that we receive. And so we just had one at the last meeting, and now this is another one because we don't have another meeting this month. And so I needed to get the claim into EMCR for the November expenses. So this has the November claim is 172,508. Made up primarily of recovery staffing, but some other contractor. We have actually reimbursed 4 residents under the archaeology grant program for $5,000 a piece, and so those costs come out of this grant. And so I'm looking for approval to submit this claim to EMCR for reimbursement.
Great. Are there any questions, comments? No, so we have a 2-part motion. We would like to put that forward. Councillor Michelle, seconder. Thank you, Councillor McCann. And all those in favor? Carried.
Mayor O'Connor, can I just say one other thing about that?
Yes.
I just wanted to mention when I was in Lytton 2 weeks ago, I had the opportunity to have the person from EMCR who processes our claims, who does a lot of the background work on them before they're submitted for payment. Her name is Danielle Leduc, and she came over from Kamloops for the day. And I toured her around, and she got to see a lot of the projects and a lot of the initiatives that we're undertaking, that result in these claims. And I think she was really appreciative of that opportunity, and it was great to meet her in person to be able to do that. So that was great. I just wanted to mention
Great.
that.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. That's
Thanks.
great. Okay, we move right on to item number 7.3, which is corporate officer. And we have Lisa here to speak to this.
Yes, Mayor O'Connor. So it's just a quick little note that on our calendar that we had last meeting that was adopted, we had September 30th as a meeting date, but we are canceling that. So I just wanted to let everybody know that that will be canceled. And then if needed, we can add in a meeting with obviously public notice if needed.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we'll move on to Director of Development, item number 7.4. And I believe we have Corey here. Hi, Corey. We haven't seen you in a while.
Yes, it's been a little bit. Nothing too exciting to report. Issued 4 permits, closed 1, a bunch of inquiries this month, no new development applications. And of course, I'm here to answer any questions that you might have. Thank you.
Great, thank you. I have a question. And
Sure.
it's in the report, in the chart, where it says occupancy final permit closed in bold, and then, 1 for the current month, 4 for approved,
Yes.
and then it goes over 12 issued or approved. So I'm just wondering where 12 comes from, because it doesn't add up to me.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a bit tricky, I think, how Lynn lays this out. But as a permit goes through a life cycle, if you will, you issue it, you do the inspections, and when it's got occupancy or a final inspection, then you close the file. I'm not
Okay.
sure if this is perhaps what she's communicating to us here.
Okay, okay. I was just, I thought 4 plus, never mind. 4 plus
Yeah,
1
it's
is not
okay.
allowed. It didn't quite make sense, so.
Sometimes it's a bit tricky because the permits, once they're issued, and some are closed before there's inspections, and there's
Oh,
a number
okay.
of things that can happen. Yeah. It's not
All right.
straightforward, unfortunately.
But that's good news if 12 are closed. Are there any other comments or questions? No? Can we have a motion, please? Thank you very much, Corey.
You're welcome.
To receive this report for information. A motion, Councillor Lightfoot, seconder.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councillor McCann. All those in favor? And carried. Good. All right. Public Works. We're moving on to item number 7.5, and we have Brian here at the lead to speak to this.
Thank you, Mayor O'Connor and Council. Submitting this report to end off the 2024. The Public Works and Utilities Department have been working on a number of projects that may be of interest to Council. This report will provide information on some of the significant projects. On the water system has seen significant progress this month. The repairs of the water leaks on West Loring and the leaks at the water treatment plant have resulted in a water savings of approximately 200 cubic meters daily. Essential repairs at the water treatment plant are nearly complete and have removed the risk of cross-contamination. Collaboration with Lytton First Nations operations and maintenance team has been exceptional. Their expertise and assistance in addressing these repairs is very much appreciated, particularly when an emergency repair was required at the water treatment plant. Lytton First Nations O&M was intending to restore water service on IR18 during the week of December 2nd to the 6th, doing flushing of the system. The village is providing any support necessary to make this happen in a safe and reliable manner. They were successful. It has been shut off again for construction purposes, but it was a successful operation. Enhancements to the SCADA system are ongoing, with staff receiving training to ensure operational efficiency. Additionally, tools and equipment are being replaced as needed to support maintenance activities. The projects associated with the $5 million UBCM water systems grant have been progressing while the village waits for the full water report to be delivered by the consultants. Target date now is set at December 16th for that report. And a request for proposal has been issued to evaluate the feasibility of upgrading the village's dam and intake system for the water. The sewer system has also seen several improvements. New testing equipment has been purchased for the wastewater treatment plant, and in-house training on its use will be provided in the coming weeks. Regular sampling and testing continue to ensure compliance with federal and provincial regulations. Efforts to improve the wastewater yard have included removing of the old generator building, creating a more organized and efficient space for its usage. Approval has recently been received from funders to proceed with the replacement of the main sewer line leading into the wastewater treatment plant. A request for proposal will be posted soon with the intention of selecting a contractor to begin work in the spring. General updates: winter preparations are complete with snow equipment tested and ready for use. At First and Main, a temporary fix has been applied to the cross ditch, and plans are underway for a permanent repair at a later date. Seasonal adjustments have been made, including the closure of washrooms for the winter and removal of most of the blue fencing downtown. On December 4th, a power pole was installed at the Pocket Park for village use. It will be used by the community for such things as Christmas tree lights, decorations, and power should be on no later than December 14th. Work is being planned for the week of December 9th at the property of 810 Main, The View. to begin the remediation and backfilling of the property. Finally, we would like to recognize the retirement of Tom McPhail, a long-serving and valued member of our team. His dedication and contributions to public works in the village of Lytton over the years have been deeply appreciated, and we extend our best wishes for his retirement.
Great, thank you. Are there any comments or questions for Brian?
What'd you do with the generator?
Sorry?
Where did the generator thing go that was in front of the sewer?
Oh, it's down at the mill. It's down at the mill site.
It looks way better. Don't it?
I was wondering what generator you were talking about.
So like I've been walking by here for years and it's looking better all the time. So kudos to whoever did that. That's nice. I also want to recognize Tom's retirement from a council point of view, and I know I personally didn't have the opportunity to send him my personal note of thanks, but I certainly endorse your comment on here, Brian. Thank you for making it.
Councillor Lightfoot.
I was just curious if you knew how many years Tom was here. I'm thinking back and I can't really remember a time when Tom wasn't here, but
Yeah.
having said that, I don't have.
I mean, I don't specifically know his history, but I would say it's close to 20 years. So.
Good, thank you. And thank you for this report full of lots of very positive things, which is much appreciated. Everything from the water leaks fixed to power at Pocket Park to, yeah, just everything. So thank you for the report.
You're welcome.
Okay, can we have a motion to accept this report for information?
Can I just,
Oh, yeah.
second Noni's kudos on getting that generator out of there? It's been a thorn in my side for about 4 years at least.
Oh, yeah.
It'll give you some elbow room to actually work in that yard. That's great.
Okay, so
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Councillor McCann, second by Councillor Lightfoot. All those in favor? Carried, good. Okay, now we move on to item number 8, bylaws. And the first one is the Village of Lytton Official Community Plan Amendment Bylaw number 760/2024. And we are looking for a motion to adopt that amended bylaw. Okay.
I will so move.
Thank you, Councillor McCann, and a seconder.
I'll second.
Thank you, Councillor Michelle. All those in favor? Carried. And then we have 8.1.2, which is the Village of Lytton zoning amendment bylaw 761/2024. And both of these bylaws, of course, were brought forward to us for readings in previous council meetings. We're looking to adopt, and we need a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Councillor Toss, your hand, I can see you there, but we're going to give you the credit for for moving, and seconder, Councillor Michelle. All those in favor? Carried. And moving on to correspondence, we have a letter from Interior Health regarding cold weather, and we're looking to receive that letter for information. Who would like?
I'll
to
make the
put
motion.
that? Thank you, Councillor Michelle, seconder.
Second.
Any comments regarding this? Councillor Lightfoot.
Perhaps this is something we could put on our newsletter or on our websites.
Share the information, yes. Great idea. Any other comments? All those in favor? Carried. And the second piece of correspondence was a letter from Helen Porter. Can we have a motion, please, to receive this letter?
So move.
Thank you, Councillor McCann, seconder. Councillor Lightfoot. And are there any comments regarding this letter?
Is that going to go on the newsletter too?
I suppose it could go in the newsletter. It is nice to hear from residents.
Cute.
I think it's nice to hear from residents, young or old, right? Absolutely. Councillor Toss?
Yes, it's great to get the letter. I just wanted to make sure that the public knows that there is no commitment as yet on a year-round pool, because I don't want the community to think that's a done deal.
Okay, any other comments or questions? And all those in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Verbal reports. Really, I do have mine here. Yes, so I don't have a lot to report. Since our last council meeting 2 weeks ago, it's not that I haven't been busy, but I just don't have a lot to report. But I do want to thank LFN Chief and Council and the various organizing committees for 2 events that I attended as mayor, along with so many other people from the community that attended. And that's the Elders Christmas Lunch and the Christmas Parade. I don't have words to express my gratitude, but the feeling of joy and inspiration that both of these events brought was just incredible. And I just also would like to say that this is our last regular council meeting of 2024. So I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And that's it for my report. I will move to Councillor Toss.
Make sure I'm not on mute there. Thank you, Mayor O'Connor. I too have not a lot to report. And also congratulations to Tom McPhail on his retirement, who is also my neighbor. Happy to hear he'll be enjoying his days in retirement. And next chamber meeting is this Thursday, the 12th at 4 p.m. for anyone that would wish to attend. It comes before the Chinese Museum's grand opening, I think, the same day. And that's all I have to report. Thank you and Merry Christmas. And thank you to all the work the staff has done in 2024. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor McCann.
Thank you for saying that, Councillor Tuss. I appreciate. I like to go ditto, especially on the staff report, because you always remember it and I always forget it. My report includes a number of activities. One that I'll mention that the mayor did not was the staff breakfast at the Battlefield Kitchen. That was a really nice thing to have the opportunity to have a meal with the staff that were able to make it and the council that were able to make it. I as well went to the holiday lunch and the elders lunch and the couple of coffees with the mayor and the parade. In that parade, I was a participant and a judge. So I really feel like I got my full experience. The 4th of December, there was another Chief Spenlin Park project task force meeting. So work has actually started out here in the park around the parish hall. It's slow going, but nonetheless, any movement is encouraging. And so I'm encouraged. I just want to say that it has been an honor and a privilege to be involved with such inclusive events as the Elders Lunch and the Holiday Parade. I raise my hands to the Lytton First Nation Council and staff for organizing these community events. And I thank them for inviting the village of Lytton to join them in celebrating our community. And that's my short and sweet report. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Michelle.
Nothing to report.
And Councillor Lightfoot.
Not a lot to report. I did come over for the parade and it was the biggest, most celebrated parade I think this community's had, and seeing pictures of the hall afterwards, it makes it quite evident that we need a bigger space for bigger events. But Lytton First Nation and the organizing committee and the people that participated made a really special day. There was a lot of smiles and a lot of laughs. Thank you, Councillor Toss, for mentioning the Chinese open house on Thursday, the 12th. And I think we've all seen the holiday train will be coming through on, correct me if I'm wrong, the 19th around noon on that day. I'm going to guess the Community Service Club will have hot chocolate or something at the parish hall because they always seem to fill in that void. And just to echo Councillor Toss's comments, wish everyone a Merry Christmas. And I think we're can be especially grateful that we have such a competent and caring staff to help us continue our journey through the rebuild. And thank you all.
Okay, thank you. And so that brings us to the end of this regular council meeting. And so we're going to be closing it to public. Can we please have a motion to do so.
Move
Awesome.
on.
Oh,
I'll
thank you,
second
Councillor
it.
Toss. Secondary, Councillor McCann. All those in favor? Carried. And I'll turn it back over to CEO Storchenko.
Thank you, Mayor Connor. So that concludes the public portion of the regular council meeting of December 10th, 2024. We ask that the public and staff please remove yourself from the meeting as we go into the closed session. Thank you for attending and have a wonderful night. And I invite council to take a short recess while I reset the meeting to closed. Thank you.
Thank you.